Hello. Hi. Happy Friday, guys. How is everyone doing? I am live streaming so much later than I wanted to do today. But you know what's important? We showed up, and that's all we are going to be learning from today's lessons. But yeah, I thought I would actually at first I wanted to do this live stream like 2 p.m. because I was like, oh, you know what? I'll just have a really nice chilled evening if I get it done. Well, let's just say that didn't go to plan, but it's fine because we're here. Guys, my nail tech is away. And when I tell you my nails are taking a beating, like I finally gave up and this one fell off. There is like 2 more on its way as well. By the time she comes back, I will have no fingers left. I'm actually quite pissed off because this is my actual nails and it took a minute, but we grew them out to the stage. Look how nice and long it is. And look at this. So I might just have to add acrylic until she gets back in town. But while I wait for more people to join in, let's hydrate ourselves. Let's lubricate our voice because, I'm just a girl. Guys, how are you? How was your... Ooh. I need to be careful. How was your week? How has everyone been? What's everyone been up to? I'm really excited. This project was so... I don't know, everything came together so nicely with this project and I'm very very excited for it, and I'm so happy. Hey, I'm so happy we got to do this together, and I'm so happy with how easily it, not easy, but it almost feels easy, you know what I mean? Like it was just such a beautiful project to work on, and I can't lie, it was so much fun. Hi Nate, thanks for joining. How is your week been? So yeah, I thought it's only fair that we go through the whole process together. So today, all we're going to be doing is assembling. If this is your first live stream, I can't speak now. If this is your first live stream, hi, hello, my name is Promise. We do crocheting over here and we just catch a good vibe. And also I have been creating a jumper, and this is my first ever jumper, and I've been live streaming the process of creating the jumper or making the jumper, whatever you want to say. If you're watching on TikTok or you're watching on YouTube, there is a video, there is list of videos from the start to the finish on my YouTube channel, as well as some shorts as well to show you guys like close-ups of what I was working on and how we got to where we are today. Because today was just the assembling of all the pieces together. I'm not going to be able to say, oh, this is the size of crochet needle or this is how this was done. Hence the reason I'm directing you guys to my YouTube channel, where you find a playlist with all of the videos organized in that playlist. I feel so proud, like I feel like such a grown-up because I even have a playlist. I have it all nice and organized. So if you guys want to go check it out later and you want to see how the process, how we came to this far, or the process of getting this far, if I can speak today, the process of getting this far, please make sure to check it out. This is the yarn that I have been using for the project. This is what I use for the body. Is this gorgeous chunky sage green yarn. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, this project made me want something sage green, so I've gone ahead and ordered more yarn, which is this one here. This is what we used for the because we were in this journey together. This cashmere yarn is what I used for the collars and the cuffs and all the areas around the jumper. So I have ordered more of this because I would really love a jumper in this, not a jumper, like a cardigan in the sage green gorgeous cashmere yarn. So that is a project that I now have on the pipeline. But this chunky yarn did me so good. Like I absolutely enjoyed working with it. So I am very much, I have a few spare, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but I do have my eyes on some more projects with this. In terms of all the pieces that we have, let me walk you through them. I like to do this because if this is your first time joining, then it kind of makes sense for you to like see where we are, what we're doing, and all of that stuff. And thank you so much for joining, guys. So we have the cuffs and the, I can't speak. Anytime I need to remember the name of anything, it just evaporates off my brain. It's actually mad. Anyway, so this is gonna go around the neck. Where's the longest one? I think the longest one is going around the neck. Something like this with a collar. And I have the other two, which would go one for the front panel and another one for the back panel. So that's it. These are going to be the last pieces that we put together. As you guys can tell, this took a pretty minute or two to make, but it was fun. I actually quite enjoyed it. As someone who always complain about slip stitching, it's just such a beautiful stitch when it's done, but it does take time, I'm not gonna lie. This was one of the reasons I actually wasn't able to start the live stream at 2 today, because I had a few more to finish of this, and it kind of made no sense to me to not have all the pieces. If I'm saying we're assembling all the pieces, like we might not be able to assemble all of them tonight, but at least you guys can see where everything goes, if that makes sense. So that's it for the cuffs, if you want to call it. And for the jumper, this is the main body, and this is the front panel or the center front. Honestly, I don't know how or what you want to call it. I'm just using sewing terms because that's the best way I can define this. But this is what we are using for the center front or the front panel. The design that I'm working with is a v-neck, so I've tried to create the v-neck, but I'm going to be adding the collar on this to bring it all together. So this is the front panel. And in terms of measurements, I used my husband's old jumper to measure because I freehand. I don't actually use any crochet patterns and stuff, so I use his jumper for measurement. So if anybody was curious about measurements, again, there is those list of videos. You can steal it, I guess, but just keep in mind that this is sort of something that I know. Thank you so much for following, but keep in mind that this is something that I know for a fact fits him perfectly, so I've made this to his measurements. So for the back panel, we have this gorgeous piece here, and this is the piece we have for the back panel. These are the two pieces that we're going to be sewing together first. By sewing, I mean crocheting together, so it becomes one piece. And then finally, don't unravel, guys, there's so many strings everywhere, so things are literally unraveling. I really don't like cutting anything out until I'm exactly sure I'm happy with where everything is placed. So I have strings and strings and strings. I'm literally drowning in them. Anyway, we have the two sleeves. This one and this gorgeous one, left and right, of course. And this is the pieces that we need. And I feel like we have all the pieces that we absolutely need here. Just move some of this off the way. Okay, let's start with our two main panels, which is the first things we are going to be joining together. It feels a bit chaotic, but stay with me, guys. I promise you it would come together nicely. So we have the front here. And we have the back here. These are such bulky pieces. The first thing I'm going to be doing is pinning both sides together. And by pinning, I really mean clipping both sides together. So just like so. There's no measurements at this point. Everything is measured. We're happy with how things are looking in terms of the measurements. So it's just really putting the pieces together like some jigsaw puzzle. Because I was using two different yarn, I wanted to crochet the curves separately. But on the sleeve, I was able to add the curves together. So we have the first side clipped. Trying to keep this from untangling itself. And this is the second part. Yeah. There you are. I'm trying to keep up with other comments and stuff. I promise I'm not ignoring you guys. So if you have any comments, do keep it down below. And when I have a sec, I will have a look to see what we're saying. So because this is quite a thick yarn, I'm not going to be able to sew this. My intention is to crochet with a slip stitch. Hence the reason I left quite a few yarn hanging, so I can use this yarn for my slip stitch. It's so hot in here. Every time I live stream, I'm just like, why am I burning up? And then I remember it's all the lights. It's boiling me. Okay, so this is two frontal panels and the back panel pinned together. That's what it looks like. I am going to start my slip stitch. Although I crocheted most of the body with the N10, I'm actually going to slip stitch with a 10 just because I feel like I have better control. This is the 10 actually. I feel like I have better control that way if it's a tad bit smaller. So you guys bear with me. This is my first slip stitch of the night, so it might take a bit of getting used to. When it comes to attaching crochet pieces together, I feel like it's one of the hardest things to do. Like, you've done the project and you need to just bring it out to life, so it takes a bit of a careful hands. No, I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna move my camera down a little bit so you guys can see what I'm doing. Hey, thanks for joining. We are doing okay, thank you very much. How are you doing? There we go. First slip stitch done. I feel like my crochet is facing the wrong way. Let's turn it around. That's much better. Okay, I think this is clean enough for what I want, but I just want to be careful. Perfect. I'm going to show you guys properly later, but I just want to continue because we have a lot of attaching to do. And I want to have done a very decent amount by the end of this live stream. I went to the shops today and forgot to get anything like some chocolates or Haribos or something. But it's okay. I guess we can live stream without eating today. I'm not gonna lie, my hardest thing, thanks for the like, my hardest thing with crocheting was honestly figuring out the best way to attach things together. I had to try so many different techniques. Sometimes I still feel like I struggle, but it was not such a smooth sailing. Took some practice. I feel like with everything else you can just like wing it. With crocheting, or at least that's what I did in most cases until I became good at what I was doing. But with the joining of the crochet, you just can't wing it. It needs to work. Else that could be the downfall of all your hard work. So I had to actually sit down and invest in making sure I was doing that right. Guys, look at this perfection. This just about enough strings to get me to where I need to be. And I love that for me. I think one more slip stitch, if I can find it. I'm going to put it in the same space. We have attached the first panel. Guys, this is it. As you can tell, I don't know if you guys can see where it's attached. It's sort of here. I can see because obviously I've done it. But that's it. The first panel has been attached successfully. And I'm very happy with this, if I do say so myself. So I'm gonna do the same thing on this side here. Oh, if I can find half of all the strings. When I tell you I'm drowning in strings, I'm honestly not lying, guys. There is strings everywhere. Ah! This by itself is gonna take all night just to unravel. I have no idea what I'm doing with this. Ah, there we go. Fighting with strings, nothing new. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna start on the far end here and then work my way this way. That way I know for a fact that I'm covering every single stitch and it ends up in the middle as it should. So we're gonna get this clipped here to here. But I might actually just cut this because I don't want to keep fighting with the strings for no reason. So I'm just gonna cut what I feel like is enough. There we go. That is much better. Now we have this to work with. All right. Life is so much better when things go to plan. So now let's just hope that this goes to plan as well. I have been like overly stimulated all day today. So hopefully after this, I shouldn't have any more energy to be everywhere. This yarn is so unforgiving, hence the reason I'm having to be so particular about getting the hook into the right place. Okay, this one, this two. I think we got it. When I started this project, I was so overwhelmed with the yarn at first. The tension ended up being too tight. So now I'm trying to make sure I don't repeat the same mistake. So there we go. Now we're good to go. If you struggle to attach yarn together, just do a slip stitch. It makes the process so much easier. I've been so adamant with this project that I didn't want to go through a lot of like vlogging or making mistakes and starting again. And I'm so glad it worked out, because I can definitely say I haven't had as much mistakes as I would on some other projects that I've worked on. Another thing that's really good about slip stitch, it doesn't actually matter what your main stitch is, it always works. It works with almost every single stitch that you do. I can't believe I'm here praising a slip stitch, because I know I know this is not an easy stitch at all. But you have to give credit where credit is due. How far have you crocheted this? This is our final live stream, and I think it took 4 live streams on 4 different days to get it here. Someone is asking how far I've been doing this. So I would say pretty decent, if I do say so myself. I did obviously go off and do some away from the live stream, but today we are assembling all the pieces together, so pretty much almost there. Not very much left to go at all. Before I continue, I need to secure the thread here. Please tell me I cut this off as well. Good. Okay, that is secured and going nowhere. Oh, forgotten what the question is, but this is our final live stream. There is the rest of the videos up on my YouTube channel if anyone is curious to see how we got this far. I also have some shorts showing close-up details of some of the stitch and the sleeve, I believe. I have placed them all on a playlist on my YouTube channel, and it's honestly the same name on TikTok and on YouTube, and it's Crochet by Promise. Okay, we are down to the wire. I never used to say down to the wire, but I suddenly started saying that a lot, and it's very weird to me. Just tying up this end. I don't want anything to unravel, like I'm working really hard here. It might not seem that way, but I'm working hard. So I need everything to stay exactly where I leave them. Guys, I told you my nails was fighting for their life. Look, this one is on its way to, oh wow, it looks like I'm giving you guys the middle finger. I'm not, but this nail is on its way as well. But we have done the first panel. Technically, this is going nowhere as well. That's one thing I absolutely love about this. So if I flip it around, this is what we have. How exciting is this? Maybe I'm the only one who is excited, but you can see how well the slip stitch is. So this is the slip stitch from the front. You can't even see it at all. So if I flip it around, and this is the slip stitch from behind. I mean, even then you can't really see it, but this is what I mean. Using a slip stitch to connect your crochet project is absolutely just fabulous in my opinion. So we have both fronts done. We still have some strings floating around, but that's fine. I can come back to them in a sec. The next stage is to attach some of the sleeves. Well, some of the sleeve sounds a bit silly. The next stage is to attach the sleeve. We need to attach both of them. There is no front or back. So all I want to do is pin it in place. But in order to do that, I need to get the center, which is this right here. But because I'm paranoid, I'm gonna count the stitch at the end and find my middle that way instead. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 16, 17, 18, 18. It's a beautiful, perfect center. I love that. No, I have no markers here. What kind of life am I living? Oh. I know I have tons of markers in this house, but I have not a single one close by at the moment, so that's fine. I'm just gonna use a peg to hold my middle together. I don't want to go too close to the seam because I need that seam to... We got our middle, which is perfect. And now we can connect it to the armhole on the sleeve. I hope I'm making sense. So we got the middle here, and we got the middle we just created by attaching this. So again, I don't have to go crazy for measurements because I'm counting and I did all the measurements before we got here, which makes this so much easier to do. So if you do all the measurements you should do, this whole process would feel a lot simpler. Because the crochet is so heavy, I'm honestly only pinning as I go instead of like clipping the whole thing together, because it's gonna fall apart and I would have done all that for nothing, and I don't like wasting my time. I'm still going to be using a slip stitch. But I'm going to start sewing from the middle. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to make sure that I do keep it in the middle. So it's all clipped up. And when I'm done sewing, it's gonna look something like this. So let's start sewing. The more I'm adding all the little pieces together, the heavier this babe is turning, and I'm just like fighting to keep it together. Middle. We need some yarn. I'm trying not to be wasteful, so I'm trying to cut just what I need as I go on each project. What have I done with my scissors? There we go. But at the same time, I'd rather have too much than not enough. So I think that should do for 1/2 for now. So we got our middle here. That's exactly where we're starting with. I feel like I need a cushion to lift the project up so you guys can see, like a pillow to put under my legs, under my legs, on top of my legs, to lift this up so you guys can see what I'm doing. But it's okay, I'll just put the camera even lower so that way. There we go. That should be a bit better. Right, here we go. I think I'm going to crochet this way because it's easier for me that way. I mentioned earlier that the yarn is quite unforgiving, hence the reason I'm being so particular. One, 2, 3. Why am I counting, guys? Because if we're being honest, counting would do me no good right now. I have to agree with you. If you're not even counting, are you crocheting? Like, I just start counting randomly and it makes no sense because I'm not even counting accurately. Like, I didn't start from when I started the project or the line and stuff like that. But you know what? It's one of those things that you have to crochet to understand. and I'm glad you guys don't think I'm weird for it. These are like different stitches, hence the reason it's taking a bit longer to locate the stitches that I need to attach. But as much as I want to get this done, I also want to get it done right. So I'm taking all the time that I need to get it done right. Oh, a slip stitch is so satisfying when it comes together nicely. Yes, you guys are gonna hear me moaning about a slip stitch not in no time, but not today. Tonight I'm giving the babe all her flowers because she's really that girl. I feel like there's flint and everything all over my face. I'm not going to sew all the way to the end. And the reason I'm not doing this is because I want to attach the bottom first. And if I sew all the way to the end, I might not be able to attach the bottom as accurately as I want it to be. So I'm just ending just a little bit shy off on this one. And I'm going to continue the same thing on the second half of the sleeve, if that makes sense. Well, it made sense to me, so I hope it made sense to you guys. But if it doesn't, that's fine. Just trust the process. Trust it, girl. So we need more yarn. Guys, let me know. Are you like one of them people who get so... Because I know some people get really upset when they see someone crocheting with like non-natural fibers. Like it's like, oh, it's not wool, it's not this and it's not that. Where do you guys stand on that conversation? Because I know where I stand. But it'd be interesting to hear where you guys stand. What do you think about using non-natural fibers for projects? Oh, that's my best bet. If I turn you around, then I should be able to continue, but this way. And I stop here. Take this off so that I can see. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Your girl is working so hard, so I am not ignoring you guys. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the comments. It's just that I'm just like trying to make sure we get this done to a decent stage today. It must feels a bit. I actually really enjoyed this project. All in total. Like, I felt like it really came along nicely. You know, like some projects you enjoy more than others. I feel like this is definitely one of them that I absolutely enjoyed a lot. I don't want to have too much gaps between them. I need to be systematic. Let's see. What are some of your best experiences you've had from your time creating YouTube content? Everyone made the decision to themselves whether they want to use natural fiber or not. I personally use mostly natural fiber, but that means that everyone else should. I agree with you, Gwen. I think I'm pronouncing your name right, Gwen. I honestly agree with you. Like, when I hear the discourse about natural fiber, I think to myself, like, when you think about crocheting, people started crocheting or people crochet because they can do what they want and they can bring their imagination to life. I almost feel like is insisting that people only use natural fibers when we already know how expensive yarns can be is giving. I'm trying to seclude people from the club. Like, crocheting is for anyone who wants to do it. And I don't see a reason why the choice of wool that they can afford or they choose to use, or yarn that they choose to use, should be the reason why they shouldn't be able to crochet. Because it defeats the purpose. Like, you need to be able to do your hobbies and have fun with it without worrying so much about money. Of course, crocheting is not a cheap hobby or a business, depending on what you're doing. But now talking down at people and saying, oh yeah, blah, 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 you're not using natural fiber, I think is actually very distasteful. It gives me the same energy as the sustainable fashion movement, where it's like, oh yeah, everyone needs to be able to buy better. Fast fashion is killing the environment and all that stuff. And I agree. We all need to do better. Fast fashion is a problem in terms of the way companies take opportunity to create so much more stuff that no one needs and all the wastage. I absolutely agree. But what I do not get is, why are the people, the poor people, being crucified for it? Because I feel like the people we should be fighting is the businesses, the corporations that are making excessive clothing. And I just worry that the whole conversation about if you're using natural fiber or not is heading that direction, where it becomes such an elite group of people, where it's like, oh yeah, if you can't afford natural fibers, you shouldn't crochet. Because that's the same as telling people, if you can't buy a linen pants for £120 if you're lucky, you know, because it's all natural fiber, then you shouldn't buy clothes. But we need clothes, and not everyone can afford so-called ethnically sourced clothing because of how expensive it is become. So yeah, let's not make crocheting that way, please. Let people be able to do what they love with what they can afford. So yeah, I use whatever yarn I like, simply because I can and I will. But yeah, rant over. Let's see what other questions. Exactly. If you can't afford national, guys, I can't speak. If you cannot afford natural fibers, then that's fine. If you can afford natural fibers and you choose not to, that's also fine. You know what I mean? It's a hobby or even as a business, as long as you're being transparent, then there's no problem. Just do what you love with what you have. Oh, guys, we are making some progress. Look at that. We've attached one sleeve. Yay! Yay, 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 yay. I don't know if to attach the next sleeve before I sew this together, or should I just sew this together because I have so many strings hanging around and I kind of want to get this over and done with. Okay, so I'm going to sew this together so that the sleeve, oh sorry guys, so that the sleeve on the side is complete and we can move on. Whew, ciao, it is so hot in here. Let's see. I think this should be enough. So we have the armhole, and I'm going to just crochet along the side here. So the first thing I want to do is pin everything in place so that it looks good once it's done and nothing is moving around. I'm just putting this for extra security. Oh, I think I skipped a question. I'm going to come back to it, I promise. Let me just put this together first. Yep, that feels about right. I have tried to hide any extras thread and joining as much as possible as I went along on this project, because I wanted to minimize coming back to like 20,000 strings that I have to fix. And I'm really proud of myself because I think I did good. We don't need too many pegs, just enough to make sure things are where they should be. And then we can start sewing. This is so heavy. I know I keep saying it, but it honestly weighs so much. Okay, so someone asked a question. Nate, what are some of your favorite or best experiences you've had from the time you start creating your channel? Oh, I've had some good experiences or favorite experiences. So in case you guys do not know, this is my second channel, and the reason I started this second channel is because I wanted somewhere for all my crochet projects to sit. Because my first channel is like a lifestyle / fashion channel. I do sustainable fashion on there, and it just became a bit too chaotic. Like I needed an outlet where things made sense, especially given what I had in mind moving forward. So I started this channel just for the fashion part. So I guess because this is still a new channel, I would say my favorite experiences in content creation still comes from my first channel, if that makes sense. But it was when I started doing sustainable fashion and it actually picked up, and I felt like I finally started reaching the type of audience that I wanted to reach. But also most importantly, because I started off as a lifestyle content creator, it did take me a while to really niche down my style of content and the type of content that I wanted to make. So being able to niche it down and be like, okay, yeah, this is definitely the avenue I wanted to go to, that's made a massive difference, and it's really like created an important structure that I needed as a content creator. So I would say that's kind of like my favorite thing. And then my second favorite, which obviously happened this year, was starting this channel and just growing it and growing the community, because I feel like, again, I'm reaching the right people, I'm reaching the right audiences, and I'm able to talk about what I actually care about talking about. What I actually care about talking about was that. I don't know if I'm making sense, guys, but essentially it's just being able to have this experience with you guys and reach the right people with the right content. I hope that's made some type of sense. And this is falling again, so we need to, I hope you guys can see. I'm really trying to make sure you guys can see properly. Let's hydrate. Honestly, I'm not exaggerating when I say it's melting in here because of all the lighting. But yes, I do agree with you, Nathan. People should be able to do what they love without it being frowned upon. I feel like if you can't even have a hobby, because you have to spend so much money on it in this cost of living, then that's, yeah, that's out of order. Don't get me wrong, I love a good natural fiber. Who wouldn't? Like a good yarn, absolutely enjoy that. Is the reason I want to make the cashmere jumper, because of how lovely it feels. But not everyone can just afford to spend on their hobby. Hobby, business, whatever it is. Sleeves are a bit tricky, but we've got this. I'm so after a seamless finish. Guys, like, you don't understand. I want this to look, oh, what did someone say? I want it to look handmade but not homemade. Or is it the other way around, guys? Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it handmade but not homemade, or homemade but not handmade? I don't know. But I need it to look absolutely flawless. Not just because it's for my husband, but because, you know, it's nice to see growth. It's nice to put, you know, your heart into something and see it come out looking good. Oh, so is anyone watched Traitor, or did anyone watch the Celebrity Traitor? It's the first time I ever watched that show. And we watched the final yesterday. So I want to hear your thoughts. Yeah. Kicking myself, beating myself, because I'm doing everything I can here. Oh, another thing that was not even funny was how long it took me to get the second sleeve right. I always have this thing where if I'm working on sleeves, I like to work on them simultaneously simply because for some reason, if I don't do that, I struggle really, really badly. For some reason, wow, I could not replicate the exact measurement for the second sleeve to save my life, because I did one of the sleeve on here on live stream and I was like, oh okay, I'm gonna do the second sleeve for the shorts so that I can give you guys a close up of how I done it, especially because like I ended up using, I believe, 5 different sizes of hooks by the time I finished making this one sleeve. So I thought, okay, let me actually explain why I'm using all the hooks or something like that. So I'm gonna just do the second sleeves outside of the live stream so I can show you guys. Wow, I think I fogged that sleeve like 4 times. That was the only project or the only part of the project that I was struggling with. I didn't go through fogging much on this project at all. But the sleeves, that one sleeve, wow. At some point, I almost gave up because I was just like, you know what? If you don't want to be identical, at this point, if you don't even want to be sisters, you don't even have to be twins. You don't have to be identical no more. Just do your thing. But I kept, ugh, I kept pushing, and I think I got them as close as I could. So hopefully that is reflected today when these babies are put together completely. I don't think I have enough string, but it's okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's absolutely okay. Okay, I don't think I can continue with the string anymore because there's barely anything on there. So I'm just going to take some more. One advantage of working with a chunky yarn like this is how clear it is to see the stitches that you're working with. This looks good. I have been behaving myself today. Like I haven't even been getting so excited ahead of the program. Are you guys proud of me? Because by now I'll be so excited I can't focus. But I'm focusing, all right? Come on, you can do this. Don't stress me out. Okay. Ugh. Ciao. So I'm getting closer and closer. It's getting harder and harder. I actually don't want to remove this pin here because I want to make sure it aligns perfectly. So I have to make this work somehow. Yep, I think one more. Oh, I might have to, but it's okay, you got this. Guys, I think that's one sleeve down. How absolutely exciting is this? Look at that. Wow. I'm so impressed with myself. This is my first time ever making a jumper and putting it together and getting this far. I think I am actually, you know, smashing it, if I do say so myself. Again, just a quick one. I'd rather be safe than sorry. Don't know if I have enough strings to now complete my stitches down here, but I'm gonna ignore those for a minute so I can actually attach the second sleeve. But guys, it's coming together. Wow, we're actually seeing such good progress. The one thing I'm most frightened about is the attaching the cuffs around the neckline, but let's not go there yet. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. So we got our second sleeve. Let's see, how much strings do you have attached to you? I'm sure this is the same sleeve that was giving me so much grief, because why are you unraveling? Where are you trying to go to? Okay. How is the weather? I think it's raining actually, to be fair. Oh, it just looked really misty today, so I thought it was raining. But when I tell you, sometimes when I'm in the house crocheting, I don't step outside. Not today though. I did have to go to the shops for a bit just to grab some tiny little things. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's not raining. But yeah, I can't really tell you how the weather is this exact moment. And what's some things that needs to come back into fashion? Fashion? Don't know about fashion. I know some things that need to come back into life. Let us be able to feed ourselves, please. What's something I'd like to see come back into fashion? I'm not sure, you know. I feel like every fashion that is out at the moment is literally a copycat of a look that's already out. I don't know if there's anything that we haven't already rinsed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Ugh, I have to start it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So the middle is just sort of there. That is our middle. I'm just gonna mark it that way for the second sleeve. I don't know, you know, guys, what do you think needs to come back into fashion? Repeating your own clothes. Like this whole idea that we all have to wear something new every single time is insane. Because we're not celebrities. Well, at least most of us ain't. So I don't understand where this whole nonsense of not being able to repeat your own clothes came from. Like the clothes you paid money for. I don't get it. Ooh. Let's go, let's go. It is getting so heavy. I hope it's not too heavy when he wears it. Because we know he ain't gonna be cold. Oh, we should have more clips. Or not? I don't have a lot of clips. Where's the rest of it gone? I'm gonna add the 2 I have left on here. I have a whole pile of these clips somewhere in this house, but of course today that I needed them, I can't find any one of them. So we've pinned the second sleeve, and we're just gonna repeat what we did to the first sleeve on this side as well. I'm starting in the middle because I want to make sure it is as aligned as I can get it, and then that way I know the sleeve is exactly where it should be. Same thing, slip stitch, 10mm hook, extra yarn, not extra yarn, but yarn. Whew. And the weight of this, the middle is here. I sort of want to align it a bit better. The start is always the hardest. But we got this. Okay. Oh, yeah, that feels secure enough to start with. So we're going this way. Oh my god, guys, at the moment crochet boo-boos are trending, and I'm not gonna lie, I am very tempted to join in that trend and make myself a boo-boo. Is it a boo-boo or a moo-moo? What is it called? A moo-moo? I believe it's a moo-moo. Guys, let me know if you think I should actually make a moo-moo. Like, I have a lot of things and projects that I want to make, so I have been very good not to get distracted and make something just because it's trending. I'm not inclined that way, if that makes sense. I don't really care if it's trending. If I want it, I'll make it. If I don't want it, I'm not gonna make it. I have to really like something to make it. I don't just make it because it's trending, if that makes sense. But moo, as someone who loves comfortable clothing, especially lately, I just feel like I am very tempted. I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's a bit of me. That is a bit of me. So I'm not gonna lie, I am very much tempted to jump on that trend just because of how cozy a moo truly is. It is a moo, not a boo-boo. Not sure why I said that, the boo-boo part, but things happen. Everything I've done to this part is to make sure this jumper is not too spacey, like there's no spaces in between it, because like I said, it is quite a heavy number, so I want you to be able to wear it, well, I want him to be able to wear it without feeling like he needs to wear a t-shirt, or do I feel like he will wear a t-shirt with it? But so I'm taking my time just to make sure it stays that way, like it continues that way, and not have unnecessary gaps or space if it doesn't need to. Thanks for joining, guys. By the way, if you have any question, please let me know. I am trying to keep an eye out for the comment sections. Even if I'm just having my own little chit chat moments. coming to the end. How lovely. How absolutely perfect. I'm gonna do what I did with the other one and literally not crochet all the way, so I'm able to attach the edge, if I'm making any sense. So we're gonna stop here and cut off this extras and tie this up, because like I said, I don't want to unravel anything after going through all this. Okay, so that is one side done. Time to move on to the side. So just a little flip over. Do you guys think we're making good progress? I feel like we're making good progress, but I could be lying to myself. There we go. And then this babe can just continue on this way. I feel like I'm literally lifting weights with this. Oh no, look, it's a knot. I'm just gonna get rid. I've done such a good job not having any knots on this project, and that's the one downside of this yarn. Too many knots. I do love the yarn, but I can't lie, it has been quite an unprecedented amount of knots. But I've been too focused on the project to actually complain about that. And that's not gonna stop now. So let's go. Okay. Just make sure there's no holes in between. I feel like I can start that better. Well, where am I from, as in where am I based, or where am I from, as in what country am I from? So that I'm giving you the right answer. Is that a bit better? I think it is better, but you never know until you've done a few more loops. I feel like there is a dip on here that I'm not loving because we've come this far. We need to make sure it looks good. And I don't care if it's literally like the smallest thing. I'd rather that is not a problem than it is a problem. So time is a charm. Okay, and then okay, I think I might need to trust the process on this one here. Just hope that that process don't let you go down. As long as there isn't like some weird gap on the side when it's finished. Something more. Let's see. What's the question? Country. How are you deciding what you're starting this project? What motivated you? Oh, so my country, I'm Nigerian and I live in the UK. And in terms of deciding what to do, starting this project, this particular one, I really just wanted to make my husband something. I haven't made him something in a very long time. And earlier this year, I was saying how I wanted to try and make most of my coats, my jackets, and my cardigans and my jumper, and his as well. So I kind of wanted to get started because, you know, practice makes perfect. So I would say just really wanting to add some of the most essential pieces to our wardrobe, really. In terms of general projects, I feel like I've been using my wardrobe needs and things that I want to add to my wardrobe as my motivation for what to make next. Like I said, like we don't have enough, or I don't have enough jumpers or cardigans and stuff like that. So I have just been focusing on autumnal pieces. That's my wardrobe needs and making things from there. But yeah, I just haven't made him something in a long time, and I kind of just wanted to. So that's why we're making this. This is stressing me out a little bit, so I'm going to have a look and see how it's looking. I think it's fine. I probably just need to stem it down. Guys, am I being silly or does this look okay? It does look okay. I think we can continue. I am using a slip stitch at the moment. The main body of the cardigan, I believe I used a back loop double crochet stitch. I had to make a short video just so I can show you guys what that stitch looked like. So when you go to the jumper playlist, you're going to find it there. But yeah, that one is a back loop double crochet stitch. But this, at the moment, to join all of the pieces together, is just a simple, not so simple slip stitch. And I am using a back loop slip stitch just because it ties in closer to this project since I use the back loop stitch for the main body. If I'm being honest, I've never been to a bonfire night in the UK. I even worked at Oxford Street at some point, and I remember having to be at work one Christmas and it was bonfire night. And honestly, all that ended up doing was being such an inconvenience. Because can you imagine after having a long shift and you're trying to go home and there is like thousands of people crowding up the train station because they've just been seen, you know, been to see the bonfire or whatever else. I'm not very like, I don't really care for festivity like that. I don't, yeah. Especially if you worked in retail. I worked in retail in the UK, in London for quite a while, and outside of London as well. But working in retail and they sing that 20, like in the shop, they play the same 20 to 30 Christmas song on repeat from the 1st of November. I'm like literally like, I can't make this up. It is so yeah, it is so not cool. It's not actually nice. By the time Christmas is finally over, your eardrums can't take any more Christmas songs. I feel like that's one of the reasons I ended up hating Christmas so much, because I was just like, wow, if I hear Christmas song one more time, the same Christmas song one more time, I might actually cry. So yeah, I say all of this to say that bonfire, Christmas, not my cup of tea. I do love New Year. I think New Year is such an elite celebration, but not so much Christmas, if I'm being honest. And I blame that to my days working in retail. Because why are you playing the same 20 songs on repeat? And it doesn't even matter wherever you go during this time, because even if you go to a different place or you go to a restaurant to have something to eat or whatever, they are playing the same two and a half songs on repeat. Yeah, it is a different type of toucher, if I'm being honest. So yeah, Christmas is not my cup of tea, and I've never been to a bonfire night. I am so sorry. I've been living in the UK for a while, to be fair, for many, many years. Okay, guys, this sleeve is secured. I mean, I'm not sure what this little dent is, and instead of losing sleep over it, it hasn't actually made any difference to the project altogether. So I'm going to leave that be and fight other battles, which is sewing up this side. And just like before, we're gonna do the same thing, secure with some secure with some clips, and then take it from there. So first secure here, so these two parts can join seamlessly together, and then secure the cuffs again so that these two parts can join seamlessly together. And this part, of course, I wonder if I still have some on here. Yep, I have some clips that I can borrow. I'm leaving this cuff just because I'm going to be using a different string, which is the string for that, or yarn, whatever you want to call it. Let's secure this. I think it's all the water that I have been drinking. I absolutely need to wee, and I have to take a minute, guys. I shall be back in no time. A girl got needs, 1 sec. I'm back. Oh, I feel so much better. Hi, guys. So where were we? Ooh. Strings, strings, strings. Stitch, stitch, and stitch. Okay. You know what? I should have gotten a pillow when I went out. Hopefully this works a little bit better. I swear most of the time spent on this project was just hunting for strings. Ah, there you are. Do 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 do. Perfect. I think this should be enough to stitch right across the arms, but if it's not, that's fine. I can just attach a new yarn. Let's see. Whew. I feel like such a weight has been lifted off me because of course I've put this down now. So hopefully you guys can still see what we're doing. Like, it's so rigid by itself, it's just chilling. I love that. Not really. I don't really visit my home country that often. I don't even travel as much as I want to, but I'm looking forward to traveling in the near future. But right now I've just had a lot more other commitments that is taking priority. I know, right? It is almost finished. Me too. I'm so looking forward to seeing the final results as well. Like, I can't believe from the first live stream to now how much we have done. It's actually just unreal. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous, about to say so myself. I think after this sleeve, I'm gonna put it on the mannequin. Although this is a female mannequin, I feel like it was to give us a rough idea what we're working with. I'm gonna just drop it on the mannequin quickly so we can all admire our hard work together. We can take it from there. Do 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 do. Honestly, when in doubt, go for a slip stitch. So this back in my pocket because it's like fine dust around here since I can't seem to find the rest of my pins. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Even I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. Is it me or did one of my light just dim? Okay, okay. Let's not overthink it. Oh, that is life, isn't it? I do love that. I love when you just like randomly fall into where you need to be. I am glad to have you. It all worked out that I didn't go to I didn't live stream at 2 when I was planning to. Where are you watching from? And what's been the highlight of your day? I'm glad you're having a good chat. I do be yapping when I can. I'm even so impressed with myself today. For some reason, I'm able to talk so fluidly. See, this is what I mean. Now that I need to talk, I can't talk. I'm able to talk so fluently. Ugh. My name is Promise, just how my channel is. Crochet by Promise, and I'm Promise. Easy enough. I think I'm like already have the next live stream planned, and I'm actually quite excited for that project. It was something I wanted to really do last year, and I did not get around to it at all. Like, I did not have the time. So I'm hoping that this year I can actually get it done, and I want to get it done early. Like I said, I want my wardrobe. Like, you know, those people who's like, where is yours from? Where did you get this from? I need to be able to say every single time that it is made by me. Honestly, it's one of my favorite things about making clothes, and the reason why I got into making clothes. Actually, that's a lie. The reason I started making clothes is because things always fitted so not how I wanted it to fit. So I kind of needed to like get my clothes altered, and here we are. Hajra. Oh, Hajra. That's a really cool name. Nice to meet you. I hope you subscribe and you check out the other live stream. I try to go live every Friday, but last week I wasn't able to do Friday, so I went live on Thursday instead. But I do like to live stream at least once a week. And with each live stream, we start a project and we kind of work on it together, start to finish. So make sure you subscribe, turn on your notification, and we can chit chat, talk about the week, talk about a whole bunch of different things. Why we crochet? Do you crochet? Or do you knit? Which do you do, if you do any of that? I feel like so many people crochet these days, like, which is very exciting actually, because like I said, it's a hobby or even as a business that is attainable in this cost of living. Every little really does help. We are getting somewhere. Okay. Trying to bury any extra yarn floating around as well in this process. So I have very little to no trimming when it is all said and done. Oh, nice. I cannot knit to save my life. I picked up crochet quite easily. I picked up crochet as a child, to be fair. But in terms of knitting, yeah, I can't understand it one tiny bit. I feel like I've given up on knitting entirely, if I'm being honest. My brain is just not wired to understand knitting at this point. That's what I would like to believe. So what project are you working on at the moment? Trust me, you're gonna be, if you're able to knit, I feel like you'll be able to crochet. But I don't feel like if you're able to crochet, does necessarily mean you're able to knit. Or maybe I've just not committed myself enough. But you're gonna be able to learn in no time. Oh, we are getting there. Oh, congrats on your job. What do you do for work if you don't mind me asking? And how are you finding your new job? I understand when you start a new job and you're just trying to settle in, it can be a lot, so you don't actually have time to be sparing for hobbies. I hope you are able to settle in soon so you can get back to doing things you enjoy. Oh, stay where you are. Don't want you doing too much. What's new with me? To be fair, I just have quite a lot of ongoing things that I need to do to accomplish something that I've wanted to accomplish for a hot minute. And really just working on this channel and getting it to where I want it to be. So aside from that, there's really nothing new per se. I'm all like work mode at the moment. So everything going on around me is work, work, work. Business, business, business. Oh, yarn can be so dusty. Nice. I know someone who is in accounting and finance. My line of work is content creation. This yarn actually pushed for a good amount, but just like the first one, I'm just a little short, but that's okay. I don't think we're ending this part on a good section, so I can actually move on to the other parts that we need to do as well. Time check. Ooh, 7 o'clock. I've literally just been chit-chatting with you guys and it's already past 7. It's been a good one actually. I hope you guys have had fun. I'm just glad both sleeves are on, because even if that's all we did today, I would say we did well. Okay, that's all the string we have. It didn't go all the way to the end, but I think it did a pretty good job. So this is what she looks like. I'm just gonna drop this on the mannequin so we can see how far we've gone. Like I said, this is a female mannequin, I know, but it still gives us a pretty good idea of what we've been working on. And I'm going to flip it. What do you think? Let's flip a second. It might look a bit boxy because it is. Nice chatting with you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. So like I was saying, it might look a bit too boxy on her, but that's because it is obviously for a man, not a woman. But this is where we are. So the next step is attaching the cuffs at the bottom as well on both sides. I am really happy with this progress. I think we've done a fabulous job, if I do say so myself. I mean, come on. It is such a pretty jumper. Also for our first attempt, that is absolutely phenomenal as well. It just sits so well. There's not going to be any blocking needed or any of that stuff. So yeah, guys, this is how much we have done. I'm definitely going to pin the rest of it in place so you guys see what they look like. I'm going to try and do the back. No, take that back. I'm going to try and do the front panel at least, and then the back panel, and then we can see how, and then pin the black. Blah. I can't speak anymore, guys. This is literally the state of me. So Thank you. I'm glad you think so. I definitely do think it's very pretty. I think we've made some good progress. This is the back panel. So this is the neck. So like I said, this is the one I am most scared of attaching because it's a little complicated based off the pattern. So I'm going to do this much later. And this is the front. Let's just take this out so we know exactly where she's at. I'm gonna go back and flip this or just take it off the mannequin. I just wanted to show you guys really quickly what it looks like before we continue, and then we can take it from there. But guys, look at the sleeves, look at everything about this jumper. It is such a cutesy color. Sage green, cozy, comfortable. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's just giving a very big hug, and that's exactly what I had in mind when I started making it. So we can finally move on to sewing on the curves. I think I'm actually going to sew the cuffs on like with needle and thread so it stays exactly where I want it to be. I honestly am so happy with the progress. So I'll probably sew the cuff on, pin the other two, and that will be us done for the day. Because then you guys can see exactly how it looks before your girl runs off to go have dinner. It's exactly the same technique. Pin, then sew. Whew. Ciao. So that's the front, and this is the piece we're attaching to it. So you guys can see. Why am I panting, guys? I do not understand. I just pin, pin, pin. So the reason I haven't made this a full piece is because I'm not going to sew all the way down. I'm going to leave this exposed because that is how hubby wants it. And I think it's quite cool as well. So it just opens up a little bit. So like a little vent on the side. And also because I didn't have the right yarn, I wasn't able to attach the cuffs the way I did with the sleeves. So I've kind of had to do this separately, but I don't mind sewing it in place. Even if I must confess, I am not the biggest fan of hand sewing anything together, ever. But it is what it is. Oh, it is what it is. Oh, beautiful. Perfect. It's all pinned in place. And once it's sewn, it's gonna leave something like this, but obviously the other way around. So let's go for it. Let's try and finish this one at least. I'm not sure how far the string would go, but I'm just gonna push till it's finished. I know for a fact I have some pins that I can use. I'm gonna use this one here. It is so encouraging when you actually see progress with your work. What is everyone's plan this weekend? What are you guys up to? We are going golf tomorrow. We haven't been to golf in like a pretty long time. And also we're very new. We only just started golfing a few months ago. But it is a fun thing to do. So looking forward to tomorrow's golf. I am struggling. That's not good, is it? Okay, let's put this. There we go. That is much better. I'm not exactly sure if sewing this in place is the right thing to do, but I don't know until I try. I do think it'll be better to sew it in place than not to, because it's just two different strings otherwise. So I'm gonna give it a go and see. Because I can attempt to do the same slip stitch that I did before, but I feel like because it's completely different size, this I did with I crocheted the cuffs with a 6mm hook, and this is a 10mm hook. The difference is just too intense in my opinion, so I don't want to stretch, that is the right word. I don't want to stretch out the yarn too much, so I'm going to sew my way through it instead. Okay, now we just need this to be seamless. You can see why I'm not planning on sewing all of this on this live stream, right? Because as you guys can imagine, we are going to be here for hours. I just wanted to show you guys how it's going to look, and then we can do the rest off camera. Not even sure if you guys can see. Let's bend this. I think I'm gonna do a rough stitch to hold it in place and then go back to make sure it is all nice and neat later, because if I try to achieve both, it's gonna take a pretty long time. So just something. This yarn is not the easiest to see, so I'm having to feel my way through it. Okay, that is not too bad at all. Still not sure if this is the best way to connect this together, so I'm not gonna waste too much energy with making it look flawless, because I might actually do decide to use a different stitch or yarn later. Guys, I'm sorry the table is always so wobbly, but this is the best way for me to sew and show you guys what I'm doing at this point, so we can manage a little shakiness, can't we? Okay. Catch you later. Thank you so much. Hopefully next Friday my next live would be, but if not Friday, then the Thursday. But please turn on your notification so you know when I'm going on live. Sometimes I just go live, but in terms of the consistent one, it would be next Friday. So I will catch you then. Have a lovely weekend. Thanks for hanging out with me. Ooh, ciao. We are getting somewhere. Let's see. You too, lovely. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. Catch you next time. I'm literally standing up, guys, so you know I'm in business. I think I have a sewing needle that is big enough to fold the chunky yarn, or I might try and separate the chunky yarn so I make it thinner, and that way I can use it to reinforce the stitch. Well, that is some experiments I gotta do just to see what's best. To be fair, the stitch is not half bad, given how I am not the most excited when it comes to hand sewing. Oh, let's not do that. Whew. We are getting there. This is the string we have left. So let's see how much of this she can do. This has literally been the story of the night. Just almost there, strings, yarn, wool, whatever you want to call them. I feel like they've been a tease to me today. The cashmere yarn is quite slippery, so I gotta be careful. Yeah, I don't think I can stretch this any further. I think if I do, I'll be jeopardizing this project. Yes, just in time. Just in time. 1 and 2. Let's see. There we go. Good. I'm going to take a tiny bit more. That should do it. And just quickly finish the little part that is left, because a girl needs to go eat some dinner soon. But I do want us to see it with the curves on. Okay, we are back. We are very back. I definitely know I'm coming back to reinforce this, but that's okay. It is absolutely not a problem. I feel like I have been doing a workout today. My arms are killing me. Ooh. Okay, we are almost there. The singing is more for me now than for you guys. Sewing by hand stresses me out. I really wish I could just run this to my sewing machine, but because it's too bulky, I cannot to do that. This is just to hold it in place. Oh, I think I just messed it up. No, 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 no. Okay. One more here. And take this off. Sorry about the shakiness, guys. Whew. That was a little much, but she got done. So this is what it looks like now that it's sewn. I think I just need to, excuse me, where's my tissue? I had my head down for too long. It's giving me a runny nose. The rest of the clips. Clip, clip, clip. I think I just need to go over the stitch one more time and then reinforce it a little bit more, and it's absolutely perfect. Look at that. You can't even see how I've joined it, and that's what I'm looking for with this project. I need it to look seamless and I need it to look perfect. I was a bit worried that the string would be too small and it wouldn't hold, but I think it actually held really, really well, if I do say so myself. And this is what it looks like. You can't really see the strings and where it attaches. So I think this is a very successful project, if I do say so myself. So I'm just gonna show you guys how a rough idea of how I plan to attach this on the neck collar, and then that way you guys can see it in its full glory. Before I leave you guys and go eat, because me, when I'm hungry, guys, I just cannot do anything right. So let me tell you now, if I'm hungry, that's it, day done. So I need to be able to continue on a much fuller stomach. But it is going to be all assembled, and that is what we needed to achieve today. Oh, she's a big girl. I'm not even going to be able to show you guys how I pin this down. I might actually have to pin it on the mannequin. So here we go. Whew. Oh. There's still some strings floating everywhere. But this is what it looks like with the curves. Guys, look at that. It's perfect. It's perfect together. That is perfect. It's pretty much what we needed. Okay. Once that is done, I'm going to take off this one marker here. Oh. There we go. And here we are. I purposely made this a bit too long because it's easier to make it smaller than to add more. So I know it might be just that tiny amount too big. I might actually be able to add some pins to hold this in place. The way I'm choosing to pin the color is just based off the design that I'm working on. If you guys look at the thumbnail, you'd have seen the picture. So how you pin your color is up to you. This is just a rough idea of what it would look like, but I just don't feel like the clips is giving me what I need. So I can show you guys. Let's try some pins and see if they make a difference. The problem is where I don't actually have the pictures with me. I'm trying to remember off heart what it looks like. So absolutely bear with me. And again, this is just a rough idea of where I will be sewing it in place. When I have the picture, I can make sure it is straightened and it looks exactly how it should look. So something like this. This is sort of the idea. This is sort of the concept for it. I'm sorry guys, let me just leave my camera up a little bit. So this is sort of the idea, and that's as well as this. And of course we have a sleeve. I'm so happy with her, guys. I think we did an amazing job. But your girl is ready to go eat. But this was so fun, like honestly. This is such a fun project. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and seeing it through with me. It is just absolutely gorgeous. I really love it. I hope he likes it as much as I do. If he doesn't like it, it's fine. I'll just wear it because, you know, oversized fashion is always gonna be in, but he will like it, don't worry. I have checked along the way. But guys, let me know what you think and comment in the comment section what you think I should do for the next live streams. I have a few ideas. I might actually put a poll down and we can, like, you know, vote and all that stuff, but there is a project that I'm really dying to bring to life, so yeah, we're gonna make that work. I'm gonna finish this completely, but this is literally what I'm doing. The stitch is exactly what I showed you guys, so everything is exactly what you've seen today. But if you have any question or anything you don't feel like I covered, let me know. The rest of the live stream and shorts are all in a playlist on my YouTube channel. My YouTube, my TikTok is exactly the same name, Crochet by Promise, so make sure to check it out. Is there anything else? I don't think so. So before I crash on you guys, I'm gonna love you guys and leave you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll speak to you guys real soon. Bye, and see you next week. Mwah. Bye, guys.